Oh, we'll get her done either way. Just a minute here and I'll have that back together for you, dear. Okay. Alright, people, open hours. We got a quick one. Check it out. This victim hit the bench, the table. It's an LG G2, I think. Is this a G2 VS980, you said?
I can't remember.
I think so. I'm pretty sure it's what it is. Battery swap, the old one. How long would it take for your battery to die? You said you'd charge it up?
I've had that for...
But it would, how long for it to discharge lately?
Oh, lately?
Yeah.
About 4 or 5 hours.
4 or 5 hours?
Yeah.
Compared to it going all day?
Yes.
Alrighty. Alright. Factory battery, this is what it looks like. Here is our battery replacement. Slightly different, but they are identical in their power. One just has a slightly different profile to allow for the ribbons, but this battery is the same thickness and doesn't have the hump in the middle. So let's install this. This was a treat getting apart. Anybody that's never done one of these, you have a few spots. Let's go ahead and... So the battery's in here, in your center compartment here, right? We're not going to stick it in because it'll stick it in right now. Then this is folded up over. You have adhesive here, tape in these two spots, and then a bunch of ribbon cables to unplug before you even get to the battery. Easily user serviceable. It depends on your experience with working on these types of things. Some people aren't comfortable with it, and if that's the case, stop on down or go to your local. And I urge you to go to your local place and get them to do it. If you're confident in messing with small screws, and when I mean small, you go small like that. Have you ever seen the size screws in these?
Huh?
I'll show you while we're at it. Some people were pretty surprised. That's the...
Oh, geez, I wouldn't even, with my cataracts, I wouldn't even hardly see that.
Yeah, they make them even smaller.
Dang. It's smaller than that?
Yes, a lot smaller than that.
Onto that even.
Screwdriver's magnetic.
It would have to be.
Correct.
You lose one, I mean, never damn find it.
Get a good strong magnet, go over the floor usually is what I do, or just sit and hunt forever.
Oh, hunt forever.
That's what it seems like.
Treasure hunt.
I do that quite a bit. I'm looking for screws laying on the floor all the time. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. We have a few ribbon cables and then the Wi-Fi wires to plug back in. I believe we're almost there. We want to lift the battery so it doesn't pinch the battery cable. And then check to see that our board sits down. Once we get it to where the SIM card can go back in, will that plug in and slide in? Yes, it will, fairly easily, so we're good there. We know the board's in the place it needs to be. We can start connecting everything back to it. We'll start with the antennas for the Wi-Fi. Where are the... tweezers. Tweezers. Where they be? Some of these antenna wires can be a treat going back on. If that's ever the case, just take your time. You don't want to break the connector loose from the motherboard, and also you don't want to bend where it connects to the board or the actual end of the wire where the connection is. But occasionally they just won't go back to the spot where they need to. You gotta just move them a little, snap it on, and then reseat your wire. Same thing with this one. It made quite a turn coming up, so we're gonna hold it, clip it on. Hey, what are we gonna put the reg back on, man? What are we gonna put the reg on? I don't think I can bend over like that to deal with that all the way down there. On the floor, man, by the heater there.
Yeah.
How are we gonna work that? Get longer arms.
Yeah, probably so. I'll just get rid of that TV set. And then I'll put that up there.
I'm just curious why you can get rid of that cart with the fridge on it.
It's yours. I can't take your stuff.
You see what it's doing? It's
I'm not calling you asking for shit for free.
It's propping up a fridge. It's propping a fridge up, man. No, that's cool. We can use that too. That'll probably work good.
I have my mom, Carol Rickman.
Oh, people name dropping on my live stream.
What was your maiden name?
Taylor.
Huh?
Taylor.
Married name?
Good gravy. Then you're Lori's related to Lori.
Yeah, I'm a brother.
I'll be darned. You're Lori's brother. I'll be darned.
There we go.
Sweetheart.
Connections. People know people. Even in central Pennsylvania. People know people. Okay, so all of our connections are back. We have a few things. This is one point of concern when tearing this apart. If I cannot have it glare you out. You got this little ribbon cable here that is what gives you your connection down to, I believe, your speaker. You have your circuitry for your speaker, and that little thing is stuck in there with a pretty good piece of adhesive. There is a little peg that gives you placement for it so it lines up with everything. When you go ahead and put that back in, make sure the peg's lined up, or when it's coming out, heat it. Try and keep the heat on this part of the phone. Use something, if you have a piece of metal or anything, metal would work best, that you can block off your battery, because when you're tearing it down, you're going to have it to where you have to heat just this thin spot. You can heat up the battery, but you don't want to risk burning this ribbon cable that this has this little extension off of it for the speaker. Same with this one, and you don't want to get a lot of heat on the battery. But you do want enough to heat just this area up, so I would recommend shielding with a piece of metal, fine, or plastic that doesn't melt easily. Don't use the back of your phone. Not very successful. Let's go ahead, we will stick this back in here. Let's go for the peg. And we got it. Almost. Moved. There it is. Okay. Stick this one back down on each end, and then in the middle easily. We don't want to break loose that, whatever it is, capacitor, resistor there. Gonna run over our connections. There are a lot. You have this one here. If you might have removed it thinking that these top two boards in this center part come up easy, in this one, those two are about the same. This one did have to be removed because this ribbon runs up to the top of the phone. Still can't see it. So this ribbon here runs up to the top of the phone. You would release this one. This one and then your battery, and then this whole piece would come forward. So you saw it put back together, you just didn't see it torn apart. We're going to go ahead and clip our battery in. It's not in there very solidly. I'm going to unplug it and go for we're going to fold this cable a little bit more to let that battery connector sit more level in there. And that's it. It's an LG G2. If you still have one of these, that is basically it. We will put our top cover back on, and then we'll snap the bottom on and get these screws back in and get this customer out the door. So we jumped away from what we were working on to do this on the spot. As is understandable, easier stuff we'll do on the spot, just walk-ins, as long as we're not too taken away from, or if we're leaving road call, you know, stuff like that. We usually generally do walk-ins on some of the easier ones. This I wouldn't call easy, but it's easy enough where it doesn't take your time, and you're probably not going to break it. Use common sense. You don't want to go prying on a thin ribbon cable and rip it. Everything seems to be snapping in, lining up, so let's go ahead and get the screws back in it. Get my little black mat. And let's go for the top ones. We have one black one out of all of these. There's one black screw out of all the silver ones, and if this don't hold, which it should, the black one goes in this location just to, depending how you're looking at it, just to the left of the water, whatever it is, water detection sticker, or moisture detection, the moisture alarm. Did this phone get wet? Alright, we're getting a real screwdriver with magnets. Or magnets with a magnetic tip. Let's go for this one. And of course it picks it up. Can't recommend that kit enough. It's a fairly good little kit from iFixit. Order one. I don't know how much they are now. I think at one point they were like $60 some. Working on this type of stuff, you'll use it a lot more than you think you will. And it's good for stuff outside of electronics when you run into goofy security screws. So it could even possibly apply outside of the IT industry. How much, I don't know. I don't work there. Four to 5 hours, is that a good time on the charge on a phone? Is 4 to 5 hours not good? I mean, I guess it would degrade over time, correct? Become unusable, quite possibly. And the screws are two different colors. It looks like you get a shiny chrome kind of screw, and then you get a more silvery, what looks like a stainless type screw. The silvery, stainless looking ones go in the top piece, and then the shiny steel looking ones go to your bottom one. What do we carry on about now? So we got this Dell, the all-in-one I showed you, that old all-in-one Inspiron, all-in-one Inspiron 19 or whatever, from a few years back. Yeah, that thing is, it was allegedly not turning, what was my description? The problem? When turned on, screen turns blank. Small light comes on left-hand upper corner. So, the computer actually turned on. It didn't. I guess it didn't say that it didn't turn on, but we'll dig into that here shortly.
I think I did it.
Oh, you know, doing the thing. Putting her SIM card back in now. You got to get a paper gown for this one.
We should just get that and get rid of this stupid red.
Well, that's an even dumber idea. Boy.
What's that?
Well, I know somebody that wanted a floor. I was thinking about getting rid of that, and we'll just stand on rafters.
Okay, you're on.
Ha ha ha.
Rafters it is.
Okay, so we have a bubbly screen protector. Not fun. And how dead is the battery? We got a buzz, so it is turning on. I don't think this has a fingerprint sensor. Not in this model anyhow, that I'm aware of. Volume keys are on the back. Your camera button and lock key, I do believe, are all there as well. Seems to be turning on. Alright, and we're at 56%, so this has some charging left. Let's see that it does indeed charge. We don't want to send somebody out with a battery that's not reportedly charging. You getting a paper gun? You want me to do that? Okay, so let's look here. We do have our charging icon is on the top there. You can see it kind of jumping even though it doesn't like focusing that close. Focus on the phone. Never gonna happen. It is charging though. Let's do this. We'll lock the screen and see what happens. It unlocks it. We'll lock it. Lights it up. Detecting plug-in and charging right away. Hopefully this battery lasts her more than 4 or 5 hours, I guess. That don't seem bad for a phone. But
I couldn't deal with that.
yeah, I guess if I was at work, for 4 or 5 hours, and my phone would be shutting off. That'd get a little frustrating, right?
I charge mine every night.
Yeah.
I always have. If I'm not on very much, I'll have like 70% or more.
Yeah, usually
I can get her down to about 50. That's it then.
on days where I'm not swiping a lot of credit cards, I can charge it every other day. Days where I'm swiping a lot of cards.
I do charge it every other day, and then days I think I plugged it in and I didn't.
Right. Alright people, there it is. LG G2 VS980. The Verizon 4G LTE variant of the LG G2. I don't know how many other carriers it was available on. I had, I think, a G3, not one of these. Mine was a G3 or G4, one of those. Been a while since we've seen any of these, but hey, we got it serviced, got the battery in. Here is our all-in-one. And you said that this turned on, right?
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Alright. Oh, I think we should...
Well, I gotta get it. I was putting keyboard and mouse on.
Yeah, that's right. Alright, well, I'll leave her phone plugged in for her charging until she gets back here.
She is a talker.
Yeah, well...
She knows everybody, man. Danny over there, you know, and all that stuff.
It's nice when somebody comes in that knows the other people. I'm going to give her toolkit back, too. Hey, what if she does? What if she comes back? Hey, I wanted to see what was inside it. Can you put it back together? That'd be great. I love inspiring people to do something.
Can have a little fun doing it. Those guys are having way too much fun.
Yeah, I hear that. Alright, get this lady a bill.
How long you got in that?
Probably 40 minutes, 45 minutes total.
Son burned a bitch up.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
That kids are crazy.
Alright, it is only at 55% right now.
Well, that's better than it's been. Uh-oh, message.
Yeah, so you go ahead.
That was that 4 o'clock pickup you meant.
My son's staying with me for a week. They're all driving me nuts. I'm serious.
Why you're hanging here, huh?
Damn straight. Now my grandson, I have to put up with him. Thank you guys so much. Have a great evening.
You're welcome, dear. Any other issues, come back. We'll be here.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. There we go. LG G2 VS980.
If you get her and some of those old ladies, they will fucking say shit on there.
Yeah, we're on. Yeah, I know.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I know. They are hilarious. I deliver to a lot of them. They're funnier than hell.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I can't.
I don't know what it is.
I usually can't stay for the comedy hour, though. I gotta go deliver dinner to other people.
Well,
You know.
I understand. But I like going to older people's houses. They tell you stories that you don't know nothing about. You know?
Yeah.
It's just pretty.
Actually, I've met a couple people that knew my dad before me and some of my brothers and sisters were even a thing. They knew him 50 years ago or better. Yeah, that was a good thing. You know, hearing stories that nobody else had told me.
Something that Dad did or whatever around them with them or whatever.
Or yeah, or they used to work for him, or his cousin, or whoever. Alright, I'm gonna shut this thing down for the time being to move it over to the bench.
See, told you. I fixed that one.
Yeah, somebody took my mouse and keyboard,
Right here.
borrowed it.
Trying to get this thing to actually.
What, work? Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Well,
Come on, man, what's going on with the USB ports? Gotta install a driver, it's old Windows 7. Okay, so going off this description, let's take a look here, people. We got, when turned on, screen turns blank, small light comes on, left-hand upper corner, so that would be this corner, and there's a small light. Did they actually pop their trim out and break it trying to look at the corner? I think they did. Yeah, they got their trim broke right here. The trim won't stay in. They must have been curious what's in there. Alright, so we do have a mouse. Let's shut this thing down so we can get it over here on the bench and have a look-see of what's happening with it. An update. And I think we got scrap. I think we got some junk here. This battery is charged and will not
Which one are you on?
turn our unit on. For booting, you don't have it, you have to go into setup. You got to disable secure boot. So enter, hold on, you don't even have it there. You're gonna have to restart. Control-Alt-Delete will restart it for you, and then F10 I think is set up on HP. Alright, so there we go. Black to red, red and black. So we got 3.70 volts all across this whole battery. Every terminal, not that it matters, they're all coming from the same place. They're just powered, many wires power different pins. However, it still will not turn on. Won't do its thing at all. We've got a fault with either the power switch here or the actual board. One of the two is the fault on this one, so we may not be fixing this one. Like I said, whenever these get to a certain point when the cost of it almost outweighs or does outweigh the cost of repairing, outweighs buying a new device. Yeah, it's, I mean, the only reason to fix something like that at that point would be sentimental value. You know, it's somebody that passed away, that it was theirs and you want to keep it, or somebody got it for you that's not here anymore, you know. That'd be the reason to fix something like that. Watch it come on, make a complete liar out of me. Losers working against me. You know what? Let's go ahead. We're gonna pop the back on this thing real quick, and we're gonna strap it into the keyboard dock and see what the situation is there. Will it turn it on putting it into the dock? I doubt it. But you never know. Stranger stuff has happened. And I do promise you, this thing was on at one point. It said Amanda something or other and then flashed off. Something at gmail.com. Where's my keyboard? There it is. Okay. Here's our tablet. We're going to hit our power key to try and attempt to turn it on. Nothing. Let's see if we can charge it through the dock. Probably not. We actually don't even have a cable to charge that thing through the dock here. Nothing available. Other than the DC adapter, which we've confirmed does not work. Or what is this, an AC adapter? Universal AC adapter? No dice. We're not plugging in this into the keyboard. We can plug in here. Hello. All working. Doing my TV show. It smells like Gain.
Yeah, it does smell like that, but it smells better. Like
It's Gain. It's 100% Febreze and Gain, I think.
what'd you do? Get a haircut?
Yeah, Febreze and Gain.
Is your TV show like on?
Yeah, we're live on the internet right now.
Well, why are you over here then?
What do you mean, why am I over there?
Online?
No, it's over here.
Good. I don't want to be on it.
We're looking at this camera. I know, people don't like to. Here, I'll mute us out. Alright, we're officially back. It's chaos here today. It's super chaos. Anyhow, this, we gotta call the people. The battery's charged, it won't turn on. I don't think it's the power switch. The power switch is separate from the logic board. It's just a ribbon that plugs in. Just to test that line of thinking. Let's go ahead and we're popping the back cover off very quick, and we will see what we're left with. What are you doing? Breaking stuff?
Listen to that. It says the F10 there to accept that. That's what I want, but it won't.
Set a page. Did you try with the FN key? It's like a laptop. It has an FN key. There you go. Each computer reads that keyboard different.
Okay, so you want the smart disabled.
Secure boot, yes. Disable secure boot. You have to enable legacy support. Okay, fast boot's on, so go ahead and hit F10 again to accept that. That's a wacky BIOS, man. I'm not digging it. Yeah, I just got back on the mic finally. I'm like, chaos today. There's too much going on.
How about the USB? Any of the stuff here needed?
No, you don't. No, you messed with the secure boot config. Look at system security. Go up one if it'll let you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go in there.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's good. Go ahead and reboot. No. Hit F. Just hit escape. Go over to advanced.
Advanced.
Yeah, right arrow. Right arrow. There you go. I guess. Well, how do you even get out? Hold on. How do you even get out of here? There has to be a way out.
Just escape.
No, it's on the file.
Well, not on that.
Save changes and exit, and then you want yes, F9, because we want to boot to something, man, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's already in there. So you get it in there.
But whether it boots or not, it's a different story. Is it restarting? It said we said save changes and reset. Let's try it. We'll just power it up. Maybe it's dumb and it didn't like our buttons.
Didn't like the rebooter.
Yeah. Trying for the boot option. Did I get it? Press the escape key for startup menu. No, it's booting into the damn escape. Okay, here you go. We're on the menu now. We want boot device options, F9.
I don't like these kind.
It's not here. Legacy boot sources. Let's try that. It's not even.
Let's see.
Where's it plugged in? On the side? Yeah, I think we need it in the back. We're going to have to restart and do it over. USB ports monkeying around. Enter to select boot device. Yeah, that didn't work. Let's restart it again. We're going to hit escape for the startup menu. Okay. F9 is boot device options. Yeah. Legacy boot source is not there. Escape to enter. Reboot. We gotta go back into the startup options, man. It's not getting it. Okay. Something didn't get changed. Device config. Good. Escape. Hold on. Hard disk. Oh, that's how we do it. Okay. We want to switch.
That is just terrible BIOS.
I know it's an old HP BIOS, man, but unfortunately it's one they had for quite a few laptops. It's
Crazy.
absolutely awful, yes. Escape, configure, so we did that. Let's check our storage options. Good there. Boot order. I guess we could have just changed the boot order. Oh, your legacy boot sources are not enabled, so we need to enable those. That's why I couldn't see it. So it might have worked. device options. Power, security. Should we want to continue? Escape, cancel, secure. Yes. So F10 to accept it, right? Okay. Oh yeah. Enable legacy support. F10. Come on, man. This is the most clunky BIOS. How do you change it? Wait, secure boot needs disabled. How do you change it?
Sideways here.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Enable. HP keys. Enable fast boot. F10. It keeps shutting off on us. It's like it's thermally shutting down. There's some issue with it.
It's shutting down.
It's shutting down completely when we're in the BIOS, man. Why?
Should just reboot.
Yeah, but that we didn't get to apply those settings, so you got to go back in, hit escape for startup menu, go into the system settings, apply those settings, and get out before it shuts off. The better question is, why is it shutting off? That's, you know what I mean?
It hasn't shut off at all since I've been, working on it.
Guess what? It just did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's been weird. Anyway, I gotta get down the house for a little while. You done to eat?
Yeah, I got to. I'm going down one line of thinking with this thing real quick. We have a ribbon cable here that's I'm going to try and see. We're going to try and trigger the power from over here in case the switch is bad, which I don't think it is. But we'll try and trigger it from here. You want to flip off that open sign so I don't get
Bombarded.
Yeah, that and I gotta hang out a little bit here because that guy with the pack guy is supposed to stop by with his car with 5 million mile on it.
Well, that other one ain't doing that, so just tell him to give him something. I want to make a good deal on a new one.
No, he's going to get. All right, we had a disagreement, saying you can't cross the red and black wires. I say you can. Next time we'll put the argument on the air. All right, so we have our volume and power key. We're gonna confirm that that's what it is real quick. We gotta look here. It goes under the corner of the battery, and then we have our front-facing camera and our sensors. So let's do some pointing. We got our front-facing camera, which is here, and our sensors pointing forward. Our rear-facing camera, that's all the same ribbon cable, and that comes over this way. It looks like it plugs into this connector here. So this one that's underneath here, you can see we do have a little bit of separation where we can go in there. So this cable underneath runs along the battery, goes to our power switch. In case the switch is bad, the actual switch mechanism here, we're going to try and trigger our power from over here and see we need something pointy. And we're going to try and go for looking at the ribbon cable, 10-bit one power volume button FPC. So the pinout on that, we're going to start with the lower pins here because they would come off of one side. That's just the logical layout for that ribbon connector. But to be sure, let's try and get it out of there. Let's see how tough the adhesive is that holds it in. Yeah, it's on there. We're not going to try and lift that and damage anything. Oh, let me see here. It popped up fairly easy without much work. So let's go ahead. We'll try. Try again. Alright, adhesive is coming up. Lift our connector out. So we hopefully get a look at the back of this and see. Okay. And it's hard, you'll never see it, but I can see it. Like I was saying, the traces for it, we have power. These are the volume keys according to our case, our back cover. We have our power switch and then our volume keys. So we know our power switch is furthest left. When we look at this ribbon on the back, the traces coming off that most resemble the power keys, or the power key. The traces would probably more than likely come off the left side of the ribbon, which the left side of the ribbon, follow it down, it would be the underside of the ribbon here, then that comes across and plugs in. Thinking like that, and I'm not 100%, but that would be the pins down here. We don't want to touch and short anything out. We just want to touch 2 pins at a time to see if we can trigger this thing on. And I don't believe it's going to do it. I think it is a problem with the actual logic board. Didn't feel any vibration. We'll move on to 2 more pins. Is that a wire or a flash? It'd be nice to see if it flashed. Not turning on there. That is enough to turn on a computer. However, computers and mobile devices work slightly differently. Let's get we're going to go for a flathead to see if we have to hold it to make contact. So we will try that. And if they split the pins up, which I don't think they did, but I have seen it before, we'll try the 2 ends, and I doubt it very much so. Okay, I'm calling this one dead board. We will have to call the owner. In situations like this, and if you're fixing one of these too, like I said, the only reason you would want to fix these is sentimental value. If somebody got it for you and they're no longer with us, or it was a child's or a mother's or a father's, you know, and you're keeping it just out of pure sentimental value, that would be the only reason to fix some of these cheaper tablets. I normally don't advise people to fix it. Some people want to run down that road though, however, and fix it because they like it, they're used to it, they know how to work it. It's almost always going to be a better bargain to go buy a new device than repair the cheaper tablets. Now when you're talking a few $100s for a tablet, and maybe you can spend 50, 60, 80, 90 on the logic board that goes in it, and that will repair it, that's not a bad option. However, in this case, I'm going to get a price on this particular board and see what they want to do. Like I said, highly unadvisable. Usually the cost of the board and the labor that you charge people is not economical for them, and they're like, oh, I can just go get a new one, and it makes sense. Usually, not always. So there's that. Let's get our all-in-one in the picture. Go ahead and get it over here to join us. We had to take a break there. It was getting stressful here. We're not trying to endorse Philip Morris or Marlboro, but it does happen, people. It's a real thing. Now, when looking at this all in one. Sorry, grabbing the shake. It's time to have something enjoyable. Something enjoyable. If you got one, shake it up. If you don't, I feel sorry for you. You should probably get one. They're pretty good. Alright, here comes our all-in-wonder. We're going to try and find this, it turns on and the screen goes black in this little light in the upper right corner. And like I said, this should not happen. This is just loose and there's no way to clip it back in. It's just the tabs are broke off and it's loose, so I think it will kind of stay in, but it won't permanently stay in. I think maybe the light, the curiosity of the light in the upper corner got the better of them and they may have pried it out and broke it. I don't know. I can't confirm this, but that's my thoughts. Blew that stuff off of there. Alright, getting dusty in here. Alright, we do have a mouse. We're going to go get our little wireless keyboard. I'm not one to really recommend products, but for the price you can pay for one of these, this is a pretty neat little wireless keyboard. And in my situation, I'm doing a lot of editing on a podcast at night with kids and wife sleeping. And I don't want the normal normal click-clack of my mechanical keyboard waking them up. So I plan on getting one of these for myself, an Arctech. Little wireless keyboard, not bad. There is some click to it, but it doesn't compare. Let's see if you can hear it versus, oh boy, I better be careful with what key I hit, huh? Yeah, two different noises. Moving on now to the important stuff. Let's go for, wow, that almost felt like if it went in backwards, I'm ashamed of that USB port for even attempting to work. Alright, give me a moment. The boss is calling. Alright, we're back, monkeys. If you heard any of that, I'm sorry. Life happens. Okay, so turning this thing on, let's get our mouse over here. Let's get the action happening up close. And I know this isn't ideal, but I can't really show you what I want to show you. I don't think it'll transfer if I plug in an HDMI cable. And honestly, I don't. Do we have an output? Did they think of that this early on? Okay, we do have a serial, and then we have another serial connection, Ethernet, some USB, PS2, and then the headphone connection. There you are, Pat.
Here I am.
All right. Let me make room here. I just shut this down.
Okay.
I'm on the right in the middle of the live stream too, so give me a sec here, and I'll end that. This is what we're going to go for tomorrow. We're going to check this one out, possibly later. I don't know. We'll see how the night works out, people. And what we're looking for, the alleged problem with this one is when it powers on, the screen goes blank, computer doesn't start up, which we know it does start up. We were just in Windows 7, booted up just fine, but the alleged problem is there's this light in the upper right corner, or left, one of the two. They did pry their bezel off and break it, probably trying to inspect the light, letting the curiosity get the better of them. So we will dive into that tomorrow. We have a previous appointment that showed up, or a previously scheduled appointment, so we're going to get on to that. Sadly, though, the stream is ending here. I do thank you for watching, getting your hands dirty, hanging out. Appreciate it. See you tomorrow.